Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
I've been to the Apollo. I've been to Carnegie Hall. I've been on Soul Train, Midnight Special, Dinah Shore, all of the TV shows. But after doing that, there was something missing. And I began to search for that part that was missing. I was no longer happy doing it. Wow. I had gold records, I had platinum albums, but I wasn't happy. And that's a sad thing.
Yeah, it is.
So I knew that there was something more for me than just the goal.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is world-renowned as the former first tenor of the world-famous R&B singing group, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Now, the group featured Teddy Pendergrass on such classic songs as If You Don't Know Me By Now, The Love I Lost, and Wake Up Everybody. The guest today has 4 gold and 2 platinum albums, along with 2 gold singles, Philadelphia Walk of Fame, and Keys to Several Cities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome singer, author, director, producer, Jerry Cummings. Jerry, welcome.
Well,
Glad to have you here today.
It's good to be with you again, Ron. I am so excited. And I wanted to tell you that since I last talked to you, I have a double platinum album now,
Excellent.
So we're going to add that. We're going to add that to that. But thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Now, by the way, I hear you have a nickname that's called the Classic Blue Note. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, that's the name Harold Melvin gave me. He gave me the Classic Blue Note.
Interesting. Okay, tell us how you started as a singer, please.
I started singing at the United House of Prayer for All People in Augusta, Georgia. James Brown used to sit behind me when I was younger. Little Richard was there. Otis Redding came, and Wilson Pickett. The United House of Prayer had a lot of entertainers to come out of that church in Augusta.
So what was it like traveling, working with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes?
It was a dream come true. That was my dream since the age of 4. When I saw my grandmother recording in a little booth in a photo shop, she sang the song C.C. Rider. And that was my dream. I said, Grandma, I want to make a record. She said, one day when you get older, you will make a record. I was 4 years old.
Wow, 4 years old. And look what happened. The
Yeah.
Philadelphia Sound. You were part of a magic fact that went on.
Oh yeah. It's been a dream come true, and and it's like I'm just getting started. Wednesday is my birthday.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be 72 years old.
How old is that, sir?
I'll be 72 years old on Wednesday.
You don't look it. You
72.
don't look it. Oh, goodness.
Well, to God be the glory for that. But now I'm just I have a non-disclosure. I can't tell y'all who I'm dealing with.
Right.
But it's my pleasure has taken off. And From Gold to Glory, the book is now is going to be a motion picture,
Right.
So it's like I'm just getting started. I feel energized again.
All right. I like the way you say that. It's interesting. Besides singing, you also got involved with acting. And while I'm doing my research, I see that in 1998, you did a film, action crime thriller called Streetwise. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And, Streetwise, of course, I did the Teddy Pendergrass movie also, the documentary on him. BBC came to my home in Illinois and filmed me from my home. And that documentary was on, it was on like the big platforms, and so I got in movies, and I didn't intend to get in movies. Now we're working on From Gold to Glory, and it's intentional.
That's good because again, it opens up a new field for you. You're doing this, you're doing that. Hey, it makes you good at what you're doing. Indeed. By the way, we just happen to have a small clip on Streetwise. Roll it, Tony.
4,500 for the streets. I'm talking about a well-organized machine. Look, man, I heard about your mom's love dilemma. It ain't out here in the streets, but I heard.
What do I gotta do? My family's about to lose everything.
All right. How many films have you had a chance to do so far?
Well, I've done about 5 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking again. Like I said, I didn't intend to be an actor. Singing and performing was all I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes things happen that you don't plan. You just be in the right place at the right time.
Got you. As we can see with the picture that you have on, you became a minister, right?
I became a minister. I still do minister at the School of the Prophets University, live on Facebook every Sunday at 12 noon. Well, not every Sunday now, every other Sunday because I'm so busy. I can't do it every Sunday. But we started with 5 people. I think we got 1,500 right now. And these are things that are happening that I love the Word of God. I love teaching the Word of God. I had, Bishop T.D. Jakes. He prayed for me in 1997 before I even started all of this. And I find myself doing it and loving it.
Excellent. At the beginning of today's show, you were talking with another pastor from Gold to Glory. Can you talk about that, please?
From Gold to Glory?
Yes.
My book?
Yes.
Oh, I had a friend who passed away, and he told me that if I ever wrote a book, he looked at my history. He said, if you ever write a book, call it From Gold to Glory. And so a couple of years ago, I started writing the book, and TBN picked it up. I was surprised that Trinity Broadcasting Network wanted to distribute my book. And it took off, and it's still taking off, And from that, independent producer Larita Shelby, she read the book, and she decided to write the script, and that's where we are right now. The script is done. We have an undisclosed person we can't talk about that's involved. And the best, let me say this, Ron, the best is yet to come.
All right. When you said Larita Shelby, you definitely caught my attention. She's an old friend that I've known for many, many years, and she's good at what she does.
Oh, she's great. She's brilliant. I saw her grades in the university, and she was straight A+ student.
Wow. That's good. A lot of people out here, it's very competitive. A lot of people don't understand it. Like those days back in the day when you first got into the business, here you working with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, but here's this one, here's the Dells over here, here's this group over here, that group over there. Very competitive, wasn't it?
Yeah, but my uncle sang with the Dells, Johnny Carter. He was the first tenor for the Dells.
Wow.
And he used to tell Harold, he said, Harold, when you going to record my nephew? And there was a lot going on back then, and that we can't talk about it. But he pushed me, and that's what. See, all the songs that Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes recorded, they were originally for the Dells. They wasn't for Teddy Pendergrass. They was for the Dells. But when the Dells refused to go on with Philadelphia International, Harold Melvin was looking for a tenor. He was looking for a tenor that reminded him of the Dells. Well, my Uncle Johnny Carter and I are both tenors, and I reminded Harold of Johnny Carter. So that's how, when he asked me how would I love to be a Blue Note, I was shocked because I wasn't trying to be a Blue Note.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I wasn't
Yes.
even trying to be a member of the group.
But the Lord,
mm-hmm. One thing, destiny, you can't really plan it. Sometimes destiny happens.
Yes.
All you got to do is believe. All I want to do is be a professional entertainer, travel around the world, be on Soul Train, Midnight Special, Donna Shore, Mike Douglas, and I did all of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was my desire. But I wasn't planning on being a Blue Note. He called me to Philadelphia and had me meet him at the Fantasy Lounge and said, how would you like to be a Blue Note? He said, with you, we got 3 lead singers, me, you, and Teddy Pendergrass. I said, oh. Next thing I know, I was in Detroit sitting with Aretha Franklin.
Look out now.
So I'm just saying.
Yes.
Ron, I know we're short, but there's a scripture that I live by. It's Proverbs 16:3.
Uh-huh.
Put your plans in God's hands, and then what you plan will come to pass.
Amen. Amen.
Put your plans in God's hands, then what you plan will come to pass. That's a promise.
Yes.
I didn't come on here to preach today now.
Fool me. Had me thinking. Today is Monday. I can go to church on Monday. Amen.
Sunday and Monday,
Amen.
Look, 7 days a week.
Right. Tell me this as we run out of time. Who is Sid Bernstein? You mentioned that gentleman to me.
Yeah, Sid Bernstein brought the Beatles to America in 1963.
Mm-hmm.
He brought them from England to America, Sid Bernstein. And Harold knew him.
Mm-hmm.
And Harold told Sid, he said, I got a guy from Washington, D.C. named Jerry Cummings. He can sing My Hero. Well, My Hero was a hit in 1960 by the Blue Notes. And there hadn't been, no one ever could do it since 1960. So Sid Bernstein told Harold, he said, if you got a guy that can sing My Hero, he said, I'll be the presenter for the group at Carnegie Hall. But he's got to sing that song. Harold never told me that I was singing that night at Carnegie Hall. He never even mentioned it to me. My Hero. It's
really?
a theme from the opera of the Chocolate Soldiers. Yeah.
My brother, guess
theme
what?
From the opera of the Chocolate Soldier. A Jewish guy wrote it in 19... Huh?
Guess what? Roll it, Tony.
What?
Roll it. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. You did another one. It's My Pleasure. It was a soundtrack. You did that, I understand. And
well, that's going to be the soundtrack. That's going to be the soundtrack to the motion picture. It's My Pleasure.
Okay. Beautiful voice.
I mean, but look, everybody need to go to YouTube, pull up Jerry Cummings, My Hero, Carnegie Hall. You can hear the live performance now.
Excellent. Before we get out of here, we want to take one more look at you. Can you roll that one? This is you on your reel. Roll it, Tony.
And so I read, for unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, and of the increase.
That is Isaiah 9.6, a nice way to end the show, a nice way to end it. Wish we had more time. I do have one other thing. Tony, if you can roll number 12 for us, please. There you go. You'll see it I'll make a copy of this for you. When you see this, you'll see what you put together for us today here on the Actor's Choice. And we really, really thank you. We appreciate that. And Jerry, once again, it's been a joyful visit having you with us today. Can't wait to see you back again, that's for sure. Please give my best to your family and God bless you, my brother.
God bless you, Ron. I'll see you on the red carpet.
On the red carpet, my friend, on the red carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Cummings. We'd like to let you know that Roll it, Tony. We'd like to let you know that we're asking the Actors Choice Squad to help us former baseball player Curt Blood help get him into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt passed away January 20th, 1997, husband of one of our wonderful guest renowned actress, Judy Pace. So all you got to do is give us a call at the office, 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay? Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, let me do this real quick. Do you want to get into broadcasting? Let me be a moment to take and tell you a very important question, and that is, have you ever thought about getting into broadcasting? The money is good. You meet a lot of people like the lady I'm about to see right now. It's a great place to be. It's a broadcast. I want to tell you, I teach a class over at Santa Monica College. Been over there for 20 years at plus. We have a class that runs. We still got some openings if you want to take it. Give me a call at 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Tuesday and Thursday, 2:15 through 3:35. 323-533-1036. Thank you. Well, Tony.
You're a good person, Richard.
So are you.
You're wrong, Richard. I have a bad seed inside of me. Goodbye, Richard.
Wait. Hey. What are you doing?
You can't change what you are, Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a lady who loves being on the stage. She's been in a bunch of plays like A Streetcar Named Desire, Kingdom of Earth, London Suite, The Man Who Came to Dinner, and The Games Afoot, just to name a few. Today, she's here to talk about her latest play, Harold Pinter's A Slight Ache. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actress, producer, and writer, Susan Priver. Susan,
hey,
bless you, and welcome to the Actors Choice.
Thank you.
Sounding good, looking good.
Excuse the office here. I forgot to bring up the
That's okay.
screen that I use when I do Zoom stuff, and I haven't done one.
I was going to say, you want to go get it?
Well, I know it's a mess. I mean, it'll take a minute because I got to go all the way downstairs, upstairs. It'll take
I understand.
4 minutes.
Well, let's get started. Tell us where you were born.
I was born in Los Angeles, California, at Cedar Sinai, and my grandfather delivered me. Did you get that?
I heard that. So did you say New York City?
No, in Los Angeles at Cedar. My grandfather delivered me.
So question, and my next question, I got to ask this question. What made you get into dancing and acting?
Well, dancing was first. That's a whole long story. I loved to dance when I was a kid, and I was always dancing, and I ended up going to New York and ended up going into School of American Ballet. I just, I was very focused. I was a focused kid. I don't think I did too well in school. I just danced all the time. And acting was after. So I had a short career as a dancer, and then I started acting because I didn't know what else I could do because I had no education in anything else.
Tell us a little
terrible
bit
way to think of it, but it was right. It was a right, somehow right choice.
Always the right thing. Tell us a little bit about your training and education that you got into.
For acting?
A necessity in this business.
Well, I started with teachers from the Actors Studio mostly because I knew a few people from the Actors Studio even when I was a dancer.
Yes.
So Susan Peretz, who has since left us, Charlie Lawton, who has left us. Wonderful. They're all from the Actors Studio. I studied with Bill Trailer at the Loft Studio, which is now the Loft Studio on La Brea. Wonderful teacher. He passed away soon after I was there, unfortunately. Wonderful teacher. So some great people that had a certain way of teaching, which was difficult because they didn't like you to speak too much, and I wanted to learn how to do a scene. You had to be quiet. You had to be really quiet and learn sensory, which was interesting. It was very interesting. I had to get on stage to actually learn how to, act. Actually, I think.
Is it, if you will? You've been there, done it. I see a lot of people, they want to get on television, they want to get on film, but they don't want to get up on that stage. What's the problem here?
I'm not sure what the problem is. I think the fact that most people have to make a living is the problem. I think it has to do with wanting to make a living, I think, and stage does not present that particular opportunity much unless you get into regional theater or you're lucky enough to get on at the Taper or the Amundsen or regional theater or get to Broadway. And that happens to very few people. And if you get your own show, a TV show, you can maybe go to Broadway if you're lucky enough. But that's very, very few people.
Interesting.
I think it's about money. And I don't want to say this. It may be about being recognized, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, people have to make a living.
Yes.
So that's the way it is.
All right. You've got, well, according to my records, I see you have over 25 acting credits, but I see you love acting on stage. We talked about that, but you spend a lot of time working at it. That's what I love about how when I see an actor or actress really putting their heart and soul into what it's like to be an actor.
I did.
Oh, I'm not an actor myself. I've had a few jobs on the side, but I sit there and I watch you actors and actresses. Y'all don't play. You got you okay? I'm sorry.
So what's the question? So how did I manage to get good?
Say it one more time.
What's the literal question? What's the time I put into it, or what's?
Well, I was just trying to let people know that how I feel. I'm just sharing with you my feeling about actors and actresses. Yeah. You guys and girls, y'all do it to the max. You really, really do.
We try.
Okay? As I look on your resume here, I see in the year 1995, you did a movie called Space Above and Beyond. Do you remember that one?
That was a TV show.
Yeah, TV show.
That was a TV show. That one was a movie. I think that was my first paying job.
Yep.
And I had to wear a helmet. And we were at Teledyne, and we were like 4 flights up, and there was holes in the ground. I told you the first time you interviewed me, and I'm very afraid of heights. And I remember looking down, going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die." And I had this big thing on, this pack on my back. And, I came from a ballet background. I'm wearing big old boots. I think I got the job because I did this very deep breathing, because you had to breathe heavily underneath that thing to make them sense that you were in an oxygen type tank. And I had been doing yoga for a while, so I knew Ujjayi breath. I think that's why I got the job, if you want to know the truth. Okay. But it was a good first job.
Yes. Susan, at this time, as you know, there's a Writers Guild and the SAG after the strike going on right now. Can you take a moment and tell us how you feel about it?
Oh, I think it's wonderful that the actors and the writer, well, especially the writers started, the amount of work that has to go into getting a small part, a TV show for a writer or a movie. Well, mostly let's say TV, because that's where people make money. The amount of work and the amount of ass kissing and all the stuff that people have to do to get one job is just so hard. And to think that AI is going to take over for these writers that create things, to think that AI is going to take over for actors that have actually worked on their craft for years and years, it's very, very sad. And so with the streaming services, nobody's getting the residuals anymore for their work. So this is a very sad situation, where everybody else is making all the money. I think that's what it is. So we have to strike. I'm glad we joined the writers.
Okay. Next question is, I'll take you back to a year called 2021. You did a film horror mystery thriller called Nightcaller.
I did. I did.
Tell us about
it. It was fun.
Yes. Okay.
It's a crazy wild ride. Yeah. It was a great experience. I just like doing theater. When you work with these people that do indie, this is very almost underground. It has been sold, and it does have a distributor. It's still kind of an indie underground movie that did pretty well, actually, for what it is. We have a few names in it. So minor, I mean, not big names, but minor.
Got you.
It was quite a thrill. I never had to scream on camera before. The camera right like down your throat almost.
Got you.
It was scary. I was a psychic. It was a phone psychic, you know, those tacky phone psychics. So
Right.
it was really fun role actually on film. It was really fun. It's nice to learn how to like take it down and do film stuff. It's a little different craft.
Okay. You came here for a reason today. Harold Pinter's A Slight Ache.
Mm-hmm.
That's what brought you here today.
Yes, thank you.
Look at that! Look at that picture there. Look at that picture.
Is that wild?
It came out.
Kishol did that. Kishol did our graphics.
Yes, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, please tell them, who is Harold Pinter?
Harold Pinter was an actor before he became a writer. One of the great British playwrights in the time of the 20th century. But he came in through theater actor, and ended up becoming a writer. That was actually very close to Samuel Beckett, who was schizophrenic. But he was close because he loved his work. He was getting to know these different people within that world. And what was happening in the late 50s, early 60s, I don't know how far into the 60s, was this theater of the absurd. You've got Ionesco, Jean-Paul Sartre, I mean, writers like that wrote a commentary on society that wasn't as literal as our 40s movies. And, you know, there was something more of an observation of the human spirit or perception in a way that isn't, it's mundane, but it's exploring the psyche of human beings and how they react with each other. And there's an absurdist bent to his writing, in this, especially in this particular play. So a lot of his plays do that. He was influenced by Beckett, and then he found his own way. You know, he's written many great plays. Nobel Prize winning playwright.
Can you give us a short synopsis of this play, please?
Oh, well, our director, Jack Heller, doesn't want me to tell too much because it's
say what you can.
A very secretive play. A middle-class couple in England, or in the countryside of England, who have been married quite a long time, who clearly cannot communicate well anymore. You'll see that through the play. There is something lurking outside their back gate that becomes a problem. It is a person. Applied today, you could say it's a homeless person. In those days, it was called that he's a match seller. And with that arrival becomes an obsession with the husband, with why he's there, what he's doing there, and how this person reflects how we feel within our relationship and about our own selves. And it's hard to say how this happens, but there's a lot of conflict in this story. Sounds just poetic, but it's quite heavy duty. Let's put it that way.
Okay, we got a couple of photos of what's going on. The first one here happens to show us. There's a nice scene there. Look at that scene. Who was those good people in that?
But Ron, you don't know, we did this 17 years ago.
I was going to say, you did this.
We're doing it again.
Wow. Excuse me.
I'm actually more right for it. Yeah, we're doing it again because it's such a weird play and we find it interesting.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, we decided to do it again. We're doing it again. So we don't have our regular photos yet.
Yes.
Because we're going to dress rehearsal as of tomorrow night.
All right. Tell us a little about the cast. You got other persons, Shelley, Henry?
Same cast. Henry's my partner. Shelley did it with us 17 years ago. And we have a different director who I did Streetcar Named Desire with. And I came to love working with him. He's very difficult, very hard on us. He's making us explore very deeply. Jack Heller, wonderful director, same producers I worked with on Kingdom of Earth and on Streetcar. Linda Tolliver and Gary Geidinger are great, wonderful producers, and great stage manager, Sarah Thon Lowry. Incredible.
Now you have a location. Tell us where your play is at.
We're at the Odyssey Theater.
Yes.
The Odyssey, which is on Sepulveda off of Olympic. So
Yes.
we'll be there opening Saturday. Hopefully we won't have a hurricane next Saturday or this Saturday.
An earthquake.
Huh? I know.
They had an earthquake down in San Diego.
I felt the earthquake in the middle of the night. Yeah. I woke up. Yeah. I did. Did you?
Here's the place where you're having your play at.
Yes.
The Odyssey Theater. Great food, great people, a glass of wine every now and then.
Yeah. I got some wine there. Yeah.
2055 Sepulveda Boulevard, West Los Angeles. Okay. Reservations 310-477-2055, extension number 2. That's 310-477-2055, extension number 2. Yes. I got to ask this question, madam. Got to ask it. You ready? What excites you the most about this play?
Oh, goodness. Gosh. What excites me the most? Well, I get to seduce in a very strange way this homeless, dirty guy. It's pretty out there. It's very difficult, actually, but it's very challenging. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very challenging. And he doesn't say a word.
I have a daughter. She says that word all the time. All the time.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I like other parts of it, but I was thinking of this sort of the strangest element for me.
And when does it start, and when is the deadline for this play?
We open August 26th, which is Saturday this week, and we play Thursdays through Sunday. Sunday is matinee at 2, 8 o'clock, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we end October 1st, which is a Sunday matinee. Okay. So 6 weeks, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I always ask an actor or an actress my favorite question: what's next for you?
I might be doing a little independent film, another one. Mob Boss, actually. I might be. That may happen. I'm not sure. I don't have another play happening, unfortunately, but hopefully something will come along. I won't be helping produce one for a while. I know that.
Well, Susan, glad to see you once again, and thank you so much for what you shared with us today. Wish you continued success, my dear, and please give my best to my favorite publisher, your favorite publisher. We've had none other than Lucy Pollock.
Yeah, she's fab.
That lady's too much. Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Ron. Sorry about the background.
What's wrong with the background? I thought that
was
no, because look at my background. Look at my background.
Like that's nice and neat, but this is an office where Henry works and it's a mess.
Oh, looks good to me. I'm looking at the lady. I ain't looking at the background.
All right. The rest of the house does not look like this because I take care of it.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Priver, thank you very, very much. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, for more information about the TAC Roku channel, please call us at 213-349-3941. It's 213-349-3941. Okay? Thank you so much. Brother Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been now doing something for the last couple of weeks. That guy you see right there, that's my dear friend Kevin Fleming. And those are two people around him. Of course, you know them, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. But a couple of weeks ago, I got a message with a picture of a person in it. At first, I didn't recognize who that person was. Can you go to the next one? There he is. That's what you, from one, this is now. He has a long time cancer that he's got right now. And pancreatic cancer, it is. Current picture of him. He's been in and out of hospital at least 20 times. He's suffering, stage 4. He needs your help to help pay medical bills. As you see across there, thank you, Tony. You see the address there. Please please help him if you can, ladies and gentlemen. He needs your help. Good friend, Kevin Fleming, been around a long time, DJ, program director, well known in his town. Kevin Fleming, God bless you. We're praying for you. Roll it, Tony.
Theater experience, because right now everybody's sort of stuck at home, can't go out to the theater, missing that connection of the theater. So The Tempest offers that. There is something rather magical too about VR. There is this world that you're all of a sudden immersed in. And everywhere you look, it's this magical world.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a Los Angeles producer, director, and performer. She's also a co-founder of Ferryman Collective, creating live theater in VR. She was also in 2023 SXX4 Mentor, including the 2020 in VR. In the list of top 100 original voices in XR, and she was honored with the 2023 Invocation Award from XR Women. She's a sought-after speaker and was recently accepted into the Producers Guild. Oh, congratulations, my dear. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deidre B. Lyons.
Hello.
Well, hello, lady. Good to see you again. Welcome back to the Actor's Choice.
Thanhere you. It's good to be here again. Good to see you.
Yes,
oh my goodness. How are you? It's been a while.
Fine. Doing real great. Health is good. Please tell our audience where you were born.
I was born in Seattle, Washington.
Did you say Seattle, Washington? Look at that background there.
It's stunning, isn't it?
That's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
The fishing is good there. The weather's great.
Yes. Well, also means I'm used to the rain. So, yesterday's deluge was like nothing surprising for people from the Northwest. They're like, oh, that's just a little rain.
How did you first get started in this business?
Oh my goodness. Well, I started when I was very, very young. My mom was always taking me to dance classes because I liked it. And she would take me to different shows and I'd audition for them. And it was so much fun. I just kept doing it all through, school, and then into my adulthood. I decided that I wanted to pursue it as a career. Yeah.
Well, I understand around 2003, you did a movie called Freaking Weekend, film comedy. Remember that?
Yeah, of course I do. That was a blast. That was a 180 VR film that was on the Amaze app and the Oculus Go back then. So I was already just starting to dip my toes into virtual reality at that time.
Okay. What is live theater about virtual? When you talk about virtual reality, talk about that, please.
So I kind of stumbled into this crazy thing. So it's actually theater, but it happens in a virtual space. So instead of getting in your car to go to the theater, you actually put on one of those funny Oculus headsets or some other headset, and you meet people in a digital space, in the same digital space together, and a play unfolds around you just as it would in real life, except for you may be at home in LA or in Seattle, and somebody else is coming in from Asia, right? People are all over the world seeing these shows at the same time with you and the actors.
Wow. I know. Wow.
Broadway's now global.
Yes. What kind of roles that you have, that you've done, that you really, what do you look for in a role? Let me ask that way.
What I look for is I look for the heart. Where is the heart of this character? And when we go to produce things, and like when I was writing Gumball Dreams, it was a bit of a a nod to my father's passing, right? You know, and that experience of going through that and how I miss them and how we don't have a chance to necessarily say all the things we want to say because we remember something later after they've gone, and you're like, well, I hope they can hear me say this now, right? So that's what I look for in a role, is where is the heart of this role?
You were recently accepted into the Producers Guild of America. Please explain what that means.
I know. Thank you. It's kind of crazy. So, you know, on this weird, strange journey of live theater and virtual reality, one of the things that we did was we submitted our second show, Krampusnacht, to the PGA Innovation Award. And we thought, this is like a long shot. There's no way they're going to pay attention to this small little group of creators doing this stuff in VR. And they nominated us as a finalist for that innovation award, and we're like, okay, we must be onto something. So when we started to do the next show, we wanted to really take our time with that show and like take it around the world and, you know, show it at the film festival. So that particular show, it went to this is what I'm talking about, Welcome to Respite here. This was our third show, and it went to Tribeca before it went to the Venice International Film Festival, before it went to Raindance, where it won, and it was part of all of these different papers and university studies, and just really well loved and beloved by the community. And we submitted that one for the PGA Innovation Award as well, and they said, yes, finalist for this. Now, we didn't win either of those awards, but it did manage to get, you know, those of us who wanted to be in the PGA as producers, because we were producing the productions as well as, you know, performing in them, able to you know, submit for a PGA membership. And we did, and we got into the membership, and we got into the PGA. And so we're trying to figure out what that means for us as well, you know? It's cool, though.
I've seen a lot of people in that, yes. Before I leave, I want to ask you one other quick question. As a speaker, how can a person get in touch with you?
Oh gosh, I'm all over the things. Just look for my name on the socials, and, you know, all the places I'm on. I'm on Facebook, because yes, I'm older than the kids who are like, no Facebook. I'm on the Instagram, I'm on the Twitter, which is now the X, and I'm on all the LinkedIn's and stuff. So you can just look for me there. I'll be there, and I'm very accessible.
Have to ask that question, definitely.
Yeah.
Gumball Dreams.
Yes. That's my baby. Oh my gosh, that's my heart. You know, we were just coming off of, oh, did you want to play some of it, or just want to show pictures? Go ahead and play it. Yeah, that's a throne room. That's Onyx's throne room. So how this happened was we were finishing up Welcome to Respite, which is supposed to be like a series, like a 3 to 4 part series. But the creative director of that project got pregnant and had a baby, which means, you know, they're busy. So I was looking at one of our team members, one of our company members' worlds, which is just beautiful. This world that he had created over the pandemic. It's this big, elaborate puzzle world. It's beautiful, but you have to like solve all these puzzles to be able to like get to the next animation and the next thing. And I'm like, let's take this and turn it into a show. So I wrote the first draft, you know, around this world that exists in, you know, this digital space. And he's like, I love it. And then we worked together to like rewrite it to make sure it fit all of his lore and that he was comfortable with everything. And then he took the world and then he started changing it to meet the story that, you know, we wanted to tell. And then together we put this thing together, and it went to South by Southwest, where it won the audience award. It went to the Venice International Film Festival, which was our second year in a row being there, and Venice is heaven. And then we went to Kaohsiung Film Festival, where it won the grand jury audience award. It went to Raindance, which where it won the best immersive narrative. And actually right now it's being translated into Mandarin, and you know, Screaming Color, or also known as Christopher Lane Davis, is taking the helm of that project and taking the Mandarin version to Kaohsiung for their film festival this October.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Guess what? We got a video. Roll it, Tony.
Yes, please.
Hello, and welcome to the virtual lobby of the award-winning immersive theatrical production Gumball Dreams.
A live, scripted, immersive, and interactive play that takes place entirely in virtual reality. Now, the show was built around a previously existing video game called Gumball Lounge that was built in VR chat. And we took it and turned it into a theatrical production that is accessible from all over the world on Quest and PC VR.
Here are...
So was...
We got just a few minutes, so we want to get something in on you. You told us Ferryman Collective accolades. What is that?
Well, those are all of the productions that we have done thus far, with all of the different like festivals and awards that we have won for our productions throughout the last, like, we've only just been doing this for like just about 3 years, like just from 0 to 150 in just the span of 3 years. It's been a crazy ride.
Next one is, of course, Ferryman Collective, Avignon.
Yeah.
Avignon.
Yeah, it's the Avignon Festival in France. And what's really cool about them is they're like one of the oldest festivals in Europe. Most of us know about the Edinburgh Theater Festival. And we actually got an opportunity to perform at the Avignon. But you see, we were actually in Los Angeles when we were performing. And we are in the same digital space as those people who are in France seeing the show at the theater. And that's one of the really cool affordances of virtual reality, is that, you know, you could be working from home and be doing shows for people all over the world, and that we were able to participate. This was and this is such an honor, because a lot of people don't know where to put this. They're like, is it games? Is it theater? Is it film? And it's like, yeah, it's all of those things.
Okay. Before we go to the last one, what are the awards and challenges of working in this media?
Oh my God. Well, the challenge is for sure is that it's tech, right? So things can go wrong, and you have to be prepared to like go, you know, oh, okay, so somebody just fell off Wi-Fi. What am I gonna do? You know, how am I gonna handle this? Well, you know, there's nothing we can do about it other than deal with it, right? So, you know, that's one of the challenges. But the affordances are that, you know, there's not a lot of people in this space, so there's a lot of visibility that can be gained really quickly. Like I said, in 3 years we've gone from 0 to like the top, performing at the top festivals in the world. Yeah, I know. And it's just given us so much. We've changed the trajectory of some people's careers. We've been asked to write for a chapter in a textbook. For the UK, we've been asked to teach at universities and, you know, write or speak on panels at different conferences and events. It's been, wow, it's been a lot.
Deidre, what has working on the bleeding edge of tech taught you?
I
asked that question.
Yes, perfection is it's an unattainable goal that is based in fear. So working in tech has taught me to trust myself, to allow myself the ability to say, okay, if something goes wrong, right, I believe in my abilities enough to be able to handle whatever that is. And that's been a very, very big gift for me.
Okay. We have one more video of this photo for you. This one is how to get started.
Oh, yes, please. We need more people in the space making things happen. So Fivers is a great festival. If you've got some new stuff, that's all they do is a virtual and augmented reality stories. Onboard XR is run by my friend. It allows performers to bring in small, short pieces and work with other people to see what it's like to work in virtual reality. There is a improv group that is in the virtual space called Skits and Bits that you can go and watch and become a part of if you like, because they have classes. You know, there's a VR dance group. I mean, there's educators in VR who are like, you know, they're in there teaching people about all kinds of stuff. So, you know, if you're interested in coming in and joining me and exploring this crazy world, there's a lot of comedians in there. There's a lot of musicians in there, and just need some more performers doing theater so we can grow the audience space.
What's the difference between what you're doing and AI?
Oh, it's completely different. It's completely different than AI. AI is artificial or augmented intelligence.
Yep.
So you would have somebody like you would ask the computer to write something for you. You would ask the computer to create a picture for you. And what we're doing is truly live people in the space interacting in real time with live audience members. We meet in a digital lobby, we go through a show, we come back to that digital lobby, and then it's a very social experience. And we actually don't use AI at this point at all for anything. Not to mean that we won't in the future, but it's not something that we currently use at all.
Thank you. That needs to be heard. A lot of people, very controversial indeed.
Yes.
Deidre, I'm going to wish you more time. Please wish you had more time to get you to come on back. Continued success to you. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you, Ron. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Deidre V. Lyons. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman's Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Weight, The Life of Losing Weight, Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. And much thanks to our guest today, author, director, producer, Jerry Cummings, actress, producer, writing, Susan Drivel, and actress, producer, director, Deidre V. Lyons. The Actor's Choice is a presentation of B&B Productions, ladies and gentlemen. Rudolph Brewington, president, and Sidney Chandler, executive producer. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. I'm Ron Brewington. We'll see you next time.